Okay, I wanted to bring you this audio recording. And actually, this audio recording that I'm using is from a free site called Screencast-O-Matic, and I will actually share that website with you because it's a great tool to be able to do conferencing. You can actually capture your computer. You can capture PowerPoint presentations easily and quickly so that you can share with parents or you can share with students for tutorials and support mechanisms. So I wanted to go ahead and do this. I actually have my webcam turned on, but you don't have to have the webcam turned on if you choose not to, because it's a toggle on, toggle off type feature. So it's a really cool tool, and I would suggest you explore it a little bit if this would meet one of your quick requirements. As you were familiar with what I wanted to make sure that you're kind of familiar with what you're doing. This inquiry is giving you an opportunity to explore various technologies so that you can start to implement more technologies within your classroom to meet your specific needs. I noticed that there were some questions for students because on the calendar it did talk about things that were due. And our calendar is really just to give you an aspect of kind of where we're going. So yesterday, the videos, there wasn't anything that you had to turn in, but I really wanted you to review the 21st century videos, or I wanted you to make sure that you were familiar with the technology standards and that you started to think about items. Again, your project ideas are due on the 18th, and inquiry minds want to know the content itself was due on the 18th. So these are just some guide points, not that anything was to be turned in or anything. So under the content, you were supposed to, as of yesterday, review some of these videos to see where we're at. You were looking at the different technology standards. I wanted you to get familiar with the different standards. I wanted you to get familiar with the framework of the 21st century learner. And I wanted you to start thinking about project ideas and where we go from there. Now, there are a lot of project ideas, and we've actually been posting in several different locations. I actually like to view in the nested view because what it'll do is expand all of the different discussion boards. You will see that I actually printed the discussion. So right now, as of this morning, we have 9 pages worth of text. I'm going to try to sort through this to get to a location where I can kind of categorize you guys so that you can work in smaller subsets. And this is just so that you can kind of start thinking about what you're going to be doing with your students. As an inquiry, you are actually meant to think and inquire a little bit deeper, investigate more into areas in which will improve your students' learning outcomes. And then the final item, so we were talking about community and we're talking about posting ideas. And then this week, what you need to do is I've given you some resources. This is just a very basic list, and I will go ahead and add Screencast-O-Matic link to that for you. And I wanted to share with you Delicious because Delicious is a social bookmarking tool that allows us to have access to bookmarks no matter where we're at. So I can actually be anywhere in the world on any computer and I can get to all my bookmarks. And you can actually bookmark things under my tag. So if you bookmark with inquiry, it'll actually link to my page as well under inquiry. So play around with that, and we're going to start to share some resources. Also, I want you, since this is an inquiry in the summer, it does move a little bit faster, so I wanted you to actually be able to start identifying where you're at. And we actually have 3 students who posted their general ideas of where they're going to be and what we're going to be working on. I will upload, these items are still hidden from you, but I wanted to actually get it into a quick format so that we are breaking down the discussions so they're not so large. And I've also been thinking, do we want to continue with discussions in this forum? Should we start bringing them more into Facebook? I don't know. Since it's the first time I'm really using Facebook and we're exploring, I'm kind of going to look to you to see what you think we need to do. So, okay. Your personal learning network. What I'm going to have you do, and you'll notice there is again another wiki or another bookmark. These are actually past students' bookmarks of what they have done for this class project. Actually, no, these are some of the resources. Sorry about that. And so what you're going to do is you're going to be creating a wiki or a personal learning network. And you're going to, and here is the actual last examples. So you're going to be creating a personal learning network, and this is where you're going to publish all of your information. Now you can use a wiki. I personally like PBWorks the best, but you can use Wikispaces, you can use any item. Ning, Pearson does offer a free account, so you can go back to using Ning if you go in and explore some of those. I know a lot of you have signed up for the personal, the Educators PLN. That's actually in a Ning site. So if you want something that looks more like a social network, you could do that. If you want an item where you are just posting all of your information, I would suggest using a wiki. If you already have a school that is using Moodle, I would suggest using the Moodle account. Or if you want to just start from scratch and create a web page that has all of your information on it, go ahead and create a web portal. I like Wix. Wix.com is a good site, or you have web.com, or you can use Google Sites, and those are all also identified in those links previously. Then when everybody starts setting up their link, you'll notice there's no bookmarks here, but once everybody creates their links, I'm going to attach everybody's website there, and we will have one location to get to our class sites. If you look at some of these different items, you'll see what they were doing, her concepts, the content standards, technology standards, why she decided to do it, and then she actually has a lot of her items on here, her annotated bibliography. This is the research that she's done to get to information, her reflection, and some of her activities possibly that she'll be using, and then a rubric of how she's going to be grading her students. So take some time to explore that. That's all that you should have been doing this week, is exploring. Okay. And then under your PLN, Personal Learning Network, this kind of explains a little bit more of what you'll have to do. You'll have to create a clear statement of why you're doing this. This capstone is research-based, and I do want to have some research-based articles as well as web-based resources are appropriate. Okay, and then questions about final requirements, putting it into practice. Let's see what Tara had to say. You will actually have to implement it, but not till next year. So this is a good question. There's no way that you'll be able to implement it. This is something that you will be implementing in the future. Hopefully early on next year. But I'm not going to put a timeline on that, because you may want to search something and explore something that the resources aren't needed until the second semester or the spring. Whatever is best for you is what I want you to go ahead and do. So, okay. I am going to be sending out a calendar so that we could all start meeting online. So I'm going to go ahead and end this session now, and then I'm going to be posting the Doodle calendar as well so that you can meet with me in the WebEx environment.